Hey guys, how's it going? It's Derek. Decided I wanted some pickled eggs, so gonna videotape how I do them. I know there's several different ways of making pickled eggs, but this is how I do it. So uh, let's get started. All right. So first off, how I normally hard boil my eggs is I normally steam them as opposed to boiling them in the water. I've seen from a few different places that if you steam them as opposed to boil them, the water maintains its heat and it doesn't take necessarily as long to cook, but you get a more consistent hard-boiled egg, and they don't have that green film-looking thing around the yolk and all that. So right now I'm using my steamer for this. So I've got not quite an inch of water in the bottom of this, and it's coming up to a boil. After it comes up to a boil, I'll throw these on, throw the lid on, and let them go for about 10 minutes, and then I'll shut the heat off and pull them off and let them sit. They'll continue to steam for another 3 or 4 minutes, but I want them to do that. That just helps them finish out. So once I get all that done, I'll come back. Alright, so we just pulled the eggs off, letting them steam for another couple minutes. In the meantime, while the burner's still on, I'm going to make the brine for this. It's going to be equal parts water to equal parts vinegar. Sorry, I just dig out my malt vinegar. What I normally do for the vinegar half of the brine is half malt vinegar and half white vinegar. This is just a personal preference. You can use just white vinegar or just malt vinegar. Really is up to you. It's a preference thing. So we've already got that, so we're gonna add there. And then that I'm going to add about a tablespoon of salt. Alright, I gave up, put it on the tripod. Okay, so we've got adding the salt. I'm using sea salt, just what I have on hand at the time, for right now. Then to this, we're going to add our spices. I'm just using a regular store-bought spice mix. Usually try to make my own spice mix, but I had roommates at the last place that I lived at, and they left a bunch of stuff behind, so I'm still trying to use it up before I make any more. So gonna eyeball it, but probably gonna go a heavy tablespoon of the pickling spice as well. And then on top of the pickling spice, I like to add a little bit more crushed red pepper. So yeah, that looks good. So get that going. Once it gets to simmering and stuff like it is now, cut the heat and pull it off. That way nothing burns or sticks to the bottom. You're basically, by adding the spices to it now as opposed to doing it later, you're kind of opening it up flavor-wise, and are giving your pickled eggs a little more punch in the long haul. So now we'll let that cool and let the eggs finish, and we'll go on to another part of it. Okay, Another couple things I like to add. Add a little bit more flavor. I usually throw them in there just because I like these pickled too, on occasion. Got a jalapeno pepper. I'm guessing that's probably about a half cup of onions. I had these in the fridge already. They're just real rough cut. So, and then usually throw in a few cloves of garlic. So, for the pepper, just take the end off, split it down the end, and then the easiest way that I've been able to get the seeds and the pith and stuff out of the pepper, or this works with most peppers actually, is just drag a spoon down the middle. You'll get it all in one go. You may booger up the end a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. So you can get it all in one go. It saves time, and it kind of drops your chances of getting some pepper juice in the eye, because by dragging it down, the juices that are squirting out are hitting the spoon and not, your hands or your face or whatever. So out here, and then I usually just kind of rough chop these. If you want a little more spice, you can leave the seeds and that kind of stuff in, and cut these up finer because it gives you more surface area. But that's about as big as I normally go. So that's one jalapeno, quarter cup, onions, and then for this batch I only have like 10 eggs in this batch, so I'm going to go with 4 cloves of garlic. And all you really need to do with that, at least what I do, is cut the stone or the root end off of it, and then just smash it like that. So this will give you garlic flavor without overpowering everything else, because you're opening up the clove of garlic, but you're not mincing it up really fine that it's a surface area issue again. So okay, so yeah, that's all the bonus stuff that I usually put into mine. So I will come back when I'm ready to start peeling the eggs. Alright, so the eggs all cooled down quite a bit. I ended up putting them in the freezer to get them to cool off a little quicker. They were only in there for maybe 10-15 minutes, so not very long, so they didn't freeze solid. But yeah. As far as steaming these, one thing I thought of while they were cooking was I haven't tried this, but I could see where it would work. A lot of people I've seen say that steaming farm fresh eggs is actually a really good way to get them to peel like this. These are just regular store-bought eggs. So for those of you that get your own eggs, or get farm fresh eggs, or have your own chickens, or however, it might be something you guys might want to look into. And if it does work, I'd love to hear it, or if it works either, or however it works out. But yeah, I'm going to be peeling these. I got 10 of them. I think it will fit in my quart jar. But basically how I'm going to be putting these in, once I get all the eggshell off, is I've got some of the veggies down in the bottom already. I'm going to put these in, and probably every 3 eggs I'll put another handful of this stuff in, just so we've got a good mixture going. And then after I get all that put in there, I'll pour the vinegar in and put a lid on it, and then we'll be done. So I'll go ahead and finish the rest of these up, and I'll be back. Alright, apparently I only needed 9 eggs for a quart jar, so good to know. But yeah, I've got them dispersed throughout there. If you wanted to make it look really pretty, you might add some some other peppers that might be different colors, or maybe even some red onions. I don't think that looks terribly bad myself, just as it is. But and then I cut open the last egg so I could kind of show you guys what it looks like when you steam them. You've got nice white of the egg. This isn't. Usually you'll see like a little bit of a pocket in the middle. From my experience cooking, that usually means that you cooked them too long, so you don't have to worry about that. I think I left these a little longer sitting than I normally do, but this is kind of the green stuff that I was talking about. It's not really green on this one, but I'm sure if you guys have seen hard-boiled eggs in the past, like sometimes they'll get kind of a bluish green film over them, and that kind of indicates that they've been overcooked. And you might be saying, well, it's a hard-boiled egg; they all taste the same. If you cook them the right way, they don't. If they're cooked well, they taste a little different. They have a little bit of they taste a little lighter. I wouldn't say fluffy, but a lot lighter texture, and they don't have a hint of sulfur like I normally pick up when I see eggs that have that green film on them. So those will be my snack here in a minute. And then, because I'm very clumsy, I'm going to stir this up, get all the spices incorporated, and then pour this into here so I can actually hit the quart jar when I put them in here. Okay, so this is our brine mix, and hopefully... Okay, so that's about all the higher that you want it to go, just to that ring. I think I might have it a little higher than that. Here, I'll be right back. Okay, so I had a little bit extra of the brine. I really want these seasonings and stuff in here with the pickle, with the eggs, so when they pickle they absorb that flavor. So I drained them off, and I'm going to just put them here in the top. And then when I close this up, I'll give it a good shake. Might still have too much liquid in here, but give it a good shake so everything kind of incorporates into the rest of it. So yeah, I'll give it a good shake. I might try putting a screenshot of this on the bottom. Actually, there we go. Okay. So that actually worked really well. So yeah, I'll just put a lid on this. These go in the fridge. Don't just let them sit out. I know there's some recipes that people say that you can do that. I haven't found one that I'm comfortable doing that with yet. So yeah, store them. I usually let them sit about 2 weeks before I try them. So I might have a taste test at some point. We'll see. But yeah, that's pickled eggs. Alright, not completely done, but so I had a little bit of brine left over from doing the eggs, and I really don't like throwing anything away. So what I ended up doing was I put it in a Ziploc bag and really thin sliced some, you can kind of see how thin they are, but thin sliced some onions and threw them in there. Just going to do like a quick kind of pickle with them. These go really good on like sausages or hot dogs, or you might use them on burgers. I don't know. I don't really eat a whole lot of hamburger, but yeah, just one One little thing as to what you can do if you have some leftover brine, please don't pour it out. But yeah, so with that, I'm all done. If you guys have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. Until next time.